So the outline for today, you guys, is to get educated about what intermittent fasting is, make sure you understand what it is, and the research on potential effects, pros and cons, and then who it's for. Is it for you, right? And who it's not for. So how to really decide if it might be something that you want to try or not. So number one, let's get educated. So intermittent fasting is a way of eating, or you could call it a dietary pattern that cycles you between phases of fasting and non-fasting. So there's lots of different types. There's the 16-8 method, where you eat within an 8-hour period each day and then you fast the remaining 16. There's the 5-2 method, where you eat normally for 5 days and then you restrict your calories to 500 for women and 600 for men on the other 2 days. The stop, eat, stop method is where you do 1 or 2 24-hour fasts each week. And then the alternate day fasting method is eating normally one day and then eating very low calorie, like 500 or 600 the following day. So Elodie has tried the 16-8. She really likes it. That really works for you. That helped with getting rid of your nighttime binging habit. Well, oh, that's Valerie. You practice 16-8 most days. It helps a lot with getting rid of my nighttime binging habit. Awesome, awesome. See, so this is a good example. And Valerie has been through the program. She was on, when were you on, Valerie? Not too long ago. But you know, she's a great example of somebody who went through the process of getting really healthy emotionally and being able to, and physically, and being able to now make choices from a different place, you know, not out of willpower, but out of self-love. So some of the benefits, potential benefits, it may help reduce blood pressure, triglycerides and LDL cholesterol. Also, it may decrease insulin-like growth factor, IGF, which is a hormone linked to cancer and diabetes. It's also a tool that people use to trigger our body's own healing responses, which can help also with longevity. For some people, it helps mood and focus. And somebody in the in my Instagram post asked if it was for people with diabetes. If you have diabetes already, then that needs to be under strict doctor supervision, is what the research I have seen. So I will put that out there. However, doing it in a healthy way could help prevent diabetes. So the con is that all types of restriction, this included, intermittent fasting included, can trigger people with a history of eating disorders or disordered eating. They can trigger them back into that diet mentality, and which will always lead to self-sabotage. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that next when we talk about, is intermittent fasting right for you? And Elodie also said she likes the 16-8. Personally, just so you know what my philosophy is, I do 12-12, and it's not a hard line. So that means I work on most days getting 12 hours between my last meal of the day and my first meal of the day. And that really works well for me. I wake up hungry, I'm ready to go. My workout schedule, I usually am working out in the middle of the day, so I like to have good fuel. I've, tried waiting to eat till later in the day. That really did for me also with my history of disordered eating. It triggered those rules. And then I started thinking about food all the time, and it got back into that obsessive mode, and it took me out of the place of being able to really listen to my body and eat in the way that works best for me. So it did not work for me. So I'll just put that out there. Okay, so is it right for you? I'm gonna give you, oh, can you explain the 16-8? Yes, Tiffany, and we talked about that at the beginning, but real quick, it's 16 hours where you are fasting, and then an 8-hour window every day where you're eating. And we have to remember now, during the hours that you're not fasting, this is not a time to overeat which also was a problem for me. When I got to the place where it was time to eat, I was ravished usually and would overeat. And that part didn't work for me either. Again, we've got Elodie here, and we've got Valerie here that say they love it. It works for them. So fantastic that it works for them. Does that make sense, Tiffany? So is it right for you? First of all, I'm going to ask you a question. If you are considering intermittent fasting, giving it a shot, what's your why? Why are you looking to try it out? Is it because A, you're wanting to be the healthiest version of yourself, to prevent disease, to increase your longevity? Is it based on those health benefits that many researchers have found? Again, there's not quite enough data to really be sure of the numbers and how much that is effective. There's lots of research all over the board, but that's where it's tending to, what I explained earlier, Tiffany, you can go back and watch the recording. I kind of explained what the potential benefits are from intermittent fasting. So what's your why? Is it that you want to be the healthiest version of yourself and live the longest you can? Is it that you think it might make life simpler, with your work and life schedule? Would it work better for you, in your life? Or is it C, that you want to lose weight because you're shameful of your body? Or D, you don't know what to do if you're not following a diet plan, so you're looking for the next diet plan to follow by default because you don't know what else to do, that it's too overwhelming when you're not following a diet plan to figure out what to eat. We got those? Got it. Okay, so if your answer is A or B only, and again, A was you're wanting to be the healthiest person you can be and live the longest, or the B is you think it might work best for your life and your schedule and be simple. If it's one of those, then okay, that might be, and not the other two, then it might be something that you might want to give a shot, okay? If it's that you are looking for quick weight loss, or that you are shameful of your body and you don't know what to do if you're not following a diet plan, then there's something else, some other things we need to look at. And Elodie said C and D for me. Thank you for being so honest, Elodie, because the first, the antidote to shame is vulnerability. And for you just to be here and chatting with us, then you're already taking some steps towards overcoming that shame and getting to a new place. So that's wonderful. So what we have to do is that if C and D is for you, is to look at the root of those issues, right? Shame, again, the antidote for shame is vulnerability. Learning to love yourself unconditionally, learning to forgive yourself and others, to not need to be perfect, letting go of that need for perfection or to be accepted by others. This is what I specialize in, okay? So yes, I was a fitness trainer for 15 years. I've done work in nutrition for a very long time, but this piece is the piece that I'm most passionate about, is helping women get to this new empowered place in their life, hence the name Empowered Vegan Life for our Facebook group. So I have done tons of free trainings that can help get you moving in that direction of self-love, listening to your body, being able to figure out the way of eating that's going to work best for you, your body, and your life based on your need and want to feel and look your best. That's it. Just from that place of wanting to feel good and step into your power and reach your true potential in life, right? And create not just a happy life or a healthy life, but also a meaningful life full of purpose. That's what we do in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, and why it's just sets my soul on fire. I love it so much. And if you haven't watched some of our client testimonials, you got to check them out and get on our mailing list as well. So I've got 30 plus free training videos I've created. I put them into a collection, and I will put the link here in the comments when we're done with this, but just so you know what it is, it's sexyfitvegan.com/training-plus. collection. So sexyfitvegan.com/training-collection. I want you to go there. Every week we're doing these Facebook Lives. Sometimes I'm alone. I much prefer when I have a co-host or a guest. A lot of times those are people who are going through the program or have been through the program, so they have so much to offer because they were starting out in the place so many of you are starting out. And, you know, halfway through the program, all the way through the program, they are just, you know, it's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know. They've figured out something that they didn't even know they didn't know, if that makes any sense. I know it sounds a little out there, but really it's really exciting. So what I want to offer to you guys, so now you have some basic information about intermittent fasting, about some potential benefits, and about whether it might be an option for you, might be a good option for you, or if it's something that you should avoid at this point while you do the inner work to get to the place where you can make those sorts of decisions from a place of self-love and not from that diet mentality. So I'm going to put in also in a link to book a breakthrough session. The first step there is to watch my master class. It's a 60-minute class. It is powerful. It is about 5 shifts that you can make starting today, that you can start to make today, that will help you move in this direction we're talking about, in the place of power, in the place of being able to make food choices out of love so that you are not binging, that you're not, you know, that disordered eating is no longer an issue. Shifts have to be made and it has to come from the inside. So that masterclass is extremely powerful and really hones in on some of the tools that we teach in the program. So that's going to be the first step. If you haven't watched that, watch that class. If you sign up and register and there is you can't make the time that is on that you registered for, don't worry, still register. We will send you the replay. It takes about 24 hours, but you will get the replay via email, and always check your spam because a lot of times it goes to spam, unfortunately. Yes, masterclass first. Second thing to do, if that resonates with you and you know, if you watch that class and you're like, Ella is talking to me, I get it, that's the place I'm in, then it's time to book a breakthrough session. And I am doing these myself, and they're absolutely free, no strings attached, for anyone who is serious about creating this transformation for themselves from the inside out, who's ready to do the work, because it does take work. This does not happen by just knowing the information, right? You have to apply it and practice it and reprogram your brain, which takes work. But we have every ounce of training and support and coaching that you could possibly need in that program to get you to this place of what most people just describe as total freedom. And that's the number one word people use to describe how they feel when they finish the program. So if that sounds interesting to you, if that's what you're ready to do, I want you to go ahead and book a breakthrough session with me now. Our program fills up and stays very full. I handpick every client. We have an incredible group of women supporting one another, loving on one another every single day in our private group. And we do group calls and individual calls, and you guys are set up. There is no turning back. Once you get started, we are there for you every step of the day. And it all has to start with this breakthrough session, at which point we will be talking about where you're at, kind of what your struggles are, and really work on getting to the root of those struggles. And then we'll look at your vision of what success would mean to you. What does that empowered vegan life, what does that mean to you? And from there, I'll know better if working with us in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program is the right fit, is the solution. And if that's the case, then I'll tell you all about it and offer you a spot, and we can get you started there. If it's not the right fit, or you're just not ready, then that's okay too. I will let you know. I am very fair. I make sure that I feel 1000% confident that it's the right fit and that you are ready. So if that's not the case, I'm going to do my best to point you in a different direction that might be more helpful. So either way, you've got nothing to lose. I am going to put that link up. And so if you guys are interested, now's the time. Do it now, because you know how the day turns into a week, turns into a month, and then it's years. And, you know, that's just, life goes by so fast. And the older I get, I know for me, I don't know about you guys, but the older I get, the faster it goes. And so don't let it waste away. Like, let's make the most of your life, and you can take action by checking out these trainings, checking out the masterclass, and then booking a call with me. All right, you guys, that is gonna do it for today. And I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you guys all for being here.